watch like the follow-up. Come watch that one too.
2,000 years later.
Moving on to the weekend, if you guys follow me on Instagram at talks.with.tj, then you were able to see me post quite a bit just in relation to the adidas adiSTAR Control 5 Cranberry. Now, that is separate from just the regular adiSTAR Control 5. That dropped this weekend, so it had its own official debut on November 15th on Saturday. So the base model for the Control 5 retails for $120 in adult sizing, but this and the collaboration model with Eric Shake James retailed for $140, and it sold out. So unfortunately, if you didn't go out and get that on the 15th, it was a successful release. Not to say that those that don't sell out, that it's not successful, because you guys know how I feel about that here. I love the fact that people can just go in and be able to get the pairs that they want. That's exactly what people were able to do. And in doing that, they always get an opportunity to actually shake hands with Shake, no pun intended, while they're with him. And, you know, when we talk about not only product, but storytelling, I made a video earlier this year in supporting what John Geiger said, in that, you know, yes, the story matters, but does it feel as if sometimes we have, you know, forced storytelling versus the product being able to stand on its own? And we were actually able to see this to a point. Like, we did an activity with a group of high schoolers in which they were actually customizing their own adiSTAR Control 5 on the white, silver, and sail pair. The kids didn't want to customize, like some kids didn't want to, because they just love the design of the shoe. We are in an era where these retro mesh runners, they really do appeal to people. And on another note, I know so often people think, well, Adidas has to be following a trend or copying somebody. Please remember that all of these brands have pretty deep archives in which they can reach back into, and that's exactly what Adidas did with this Control 5. They reached back, went back to 2008, and said, hey, let me go ahead and pull out this. Now, this is retrofitted, so to be updated just in terms of the cushion and the technology they have in here, it is meant for it to be comfortable on your foot all day, but also for lifestyle, not as a performance pair anymore. So I would just say go ahead and keep that in mind. The reflective element that I think may be missed on here, and I'll be able to show you guys the shine, listen, on camera with the flash. This red element, it's such a standout, and I love that it wasn't metallic, but it still gives you the flash effect on here. I mean, just a gorgeous element on the shoe itself and standing out. And when you're asking, like, well, why cranberry? Well, one, it is the actual official fruit for the state of Wisconsin, aka where Shake was born and raised, but the story goes beyond that. And if you're like me, I mean, so many of us have been touched by cancer, and how it brings you back to, you know, how fragile human life is. It really does make you face your own mortality. And so this shoe, the tagline is "Take Control," in which Shake shared his story of taking control of his health and this second chance, this second opportunity.
We don't sell carcinoma. Dudes, like, you got a mass on your right side, like this big. I didn't tell nobody.
How were you able to take control?
I'm a strong dude. I rarely cry. You know, when you have family, your family loves you, right? Mm-hmm. But they can tell you all day, like, yo, we're going to be here for you. Got you. Don't worry about it. But at the end of the day, it's happening to you. This is not a woe is me story, right? This is not that. This is just me telling my story. I used to go crazy just trying to make my face sweat. So the people at the gym, when they saw me, they couldn't tell if I was crying. Because I couldn't control it. You know what I'm saying? Especially in the beginning when I first got told that. I was like, I just thought it was like a mistake. That's why I felt the Control 5, because I was like, I was letting that control me. Because I didn't want nobody to know. So I was like, I need to take the control back. You know what I'm saying?
That he was given, and he actually held this very close to the chest. He didn't share this with friends or family as he was battling this in a very, you know, silent way on his own. And when you think of, you know, I think society does put this on the shoulders of men to kind of grit and bear through the things that they're going through, because it's just within your DNA. It's inherently in you as a man to continue to still show up as the protector, the provider, the problem solver, the superhero, even when you yourself are dealing with things. It could be health related. It could be mental health. And, you know, I don't think that's fair in any way. I get it. I do. I get it. I understand why Men feel that they have to continue to press on, but I don't think it's a fight that you should have to do silently, because there should always be individuals that are there that want to listen and help you through that. And that's not to say, of course, that he didn't have them, but I 100% get that he didn't want to alarm anyone. And I've had family members do the same, where they didn't want to alarm anyone in dealing with cancer, and being able, thankfully, to overcome it. But this story resonated with people. And I think it's crazy to say that, because when you look at this shoe, right, there's no other additional branding on here outside of that for Adidas. You have adiSTAR, you have, again, the torsion system that is marked on here, and 4Motion in terms of the cushioning system, but that's it. Now, you will have a detail. Every single shoe is numbered, and 999 being the angel number, but every single pair will have its own individual number. So I have 2 pairs, actually. So this pair back here, which is the pair I wore all weekend while working the release and capturing content, I actually have 143. I love you. Okay. So, and then I have 159 here. So there were certainly some, cool numbers to be had in there, but it was just amazing to see people come out wholeheartedly, to not only support Shake in another sneaker release, but just in the vulnerability. And that's how you continue to connect with people, right? The things that we go through, knowing that others go through them as well. It brings you closer, and I love the message of take control. If you couldn't catch that, I try to, in my own self, right, I showed in the different pieces of content that were up how you can take control, not even necessarily just in your health, but there are different things you can take control of, and whether it was the product or, the setup or your style, because your style is an expression of yourself. It's how you voice, who you are in a way, but that's not the easiest thing to do, knowing what to take control of when everything feels out of control in the world and in life. So I'll just go ahead and put something up here so you guys can see, because it's been helpful to me to understand of like taking control, what's within your power to take control of, and focusing on those things, right? Making those the priority. I think that's super important. So you guys know me, I love a retro mesh runner, so I'm happy to see Adidas bring this back. I'll likely end up having the white metallic silver, and that cream pair added in. Not something that's probably going to have a video on it. And then in terms of looks, I'm sure at some point I'll have thrown them up on screen here for you guys to see. But I wore this shoe all weekend. So on Friday, and doing events with the kids at both an elementary school and then a high school, for the private dinner that we had on Friday night, and then the actual launch itself. Not this, but wore this pair with my Jamaica soccer jersey, and then just a wide leg pair of pants, Adidas pants that I have that I'm pretty sure I've shown on this channel before. And then moving beyond that, there was a comedy event that night, and so I also wore 2 new items that I was able to have added to the closet, gifted. So not only another soccer jersey, very oversized on me, but I like the draping and the look of it, but then an Ivy Park pullover. And that Ivy Park pullover was actually sold that day in JAY Academy, which we transformed into a retail experience for people. So people were styled, they saw the inspiration, we were able to help them get everything around to enjoy their adiSTAR Control 5 Cranberry. So go ahead and comment your thoughts below on the pair if you were able to secure them. All the pairs, whether you bought them in store or online, as long as there were shirts available, you would also receive a free shirt, which is amazing, I think, in my opinion. And then Supplement, which is a Black-owned water bottle brand, they actually also provided, water bottles. So those were limited to 100, and those were provided, I believe, to the first 25 online, and then the first 20 that came in store. So what a weekend. It owes me absolutely nothing. So beyond grateful for every and anything I got to experience. Thank you so much for tuning into this video. Not sure if it'll be just 1 part or 2 parts. We'll see, because this is quite long in terms of filming. But as always, act your age, not your shoe size. Peace.